He hit me with such force.
Sitting at home in Lake Villa today, Kathy Miles admits the last thing she remembers before her attack on August the 19th is walking past Block 37 in the Loop on the way to Union Station.
Now, take a look at your screen and you're going to see this brutal attack. Again, if this were HD, we probably couldn't show it. Here he runs up on her. You can see he punched. And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. This is the PIW Paralegal Reacts channel. This is not the main channel, y'all. This is the Reacts channel where we're covering some of the stories that we don't normally talk about on the main channel. So look down below. Make sure you are subscribed. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What you waiting for? Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up so that we can get this in the logarithms. Now, y'all, this is a follow-up. This is a follow-up story we talked about in a previous video, and I'm going to link to that down below. We talked about the fact that when I first heard about this, it was the Loop Puncher, okay? In Chicago, there's something called the Loop. It's like a geographical area. And I heard that there was this guy going around just punching women in the face and knocking them out. And I saw a woman who was all bruised up.
Kathleen Miles only works downtown 1 day a week. Today, she's still suffering the consequences of that random attack. But it is what she found out about the person who prosecutors say did it that has led her to speak out.
He hit me with such force.
Sitting at home in Lake Villa today, Kathy Miles admits the last thing she remembers before her attack on August the 19th is walking past Block 37 in the Loop on the way to Union Station.
I woke up and my coworker was standing above me saying, "You're okay, we're in the hospital. You've been assaulted."
She then passed out again.
The next thing I remember is my daughter, Deanna, saying, "Hi, Mama, I'm here, you're okay."
And while she doesn't remember what happened, a colleague who was walking with her at the time told her this.
She had said this man came in between the two of us, shoved us apart, and then hit me in the face.
That punch left Miles with several broken bones in her face, as well as a concussion. According to police, she was assaulted by 32-year-old William Livingston. A record search produced 13 mugshots of Livingston going back to 2012. A large number of those arrests for aggravated assault and battery of both women and police officers, something Miles found out after the fact.
Like, what is enough? You know, what does someone have to do where they're going to be held accountable?
According to online records, Livingston's history of random acts of violence against women goes back 8 years. In 2017, he was accused of randomly attacking 2 women months apart. Both cases were dropped. In 2022, Livingston was sentenced to 5 years in prison after prosecutors said he punched and attempted to rob 4 women within 20 minutes in the Loop. And yet, just 14 months later, in 2023, while on parole, Livingston was arrested for hitting a woman in the face on North Michigan Avenue. And in 2024, he was sentenced to 100 days in prison after punching a 15-year-old girl, also on North Michigan Avenue.
I'm not going to let someone speak for me.
And she said he just came up and knocked her out, just punched her in the face, broke bones in her face, knocked her out. And so this was the Loop Puncher. And in the report, and again, we'll link to it. In the report, they go through his whole history. He's one of these guys that's been in and out of jail forever. And he had previously punched people in the face. So he was arrested. Later on, they show another guy who's also the Loop Puncher. And that's when in the video, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the Batman villains, you know? Batman finally catches the Loop Puncher and it's like, woo, you know, women are safe. And then the next day a woman gets punched in the face, like, there must be another Loop Puncher, you know? And it's like, dun dun dun, one of those things. Well, now, y'all, it looks like video from the first Loop Puncher, okay? When the lady says he just comes up and punches her in the face, you're trying to imagine who would do that? You know, like, what the heck? You know, what the HE double hockey stick, right? Well, now Libs of TikTok actually has video of the punching. Now it's grainy, thank goodness, because I probably couldn't show it on YouTube if it weren't grainy. But let's read this. It says the city of Chicago finally released footage of the brutal unprovoked attack of Kathleen Miles by suspect William Livingston after CWB Chicago filed a FOIA request. Livingston can be seen walking up behind Miles before punching her in the head, knocking her out, and sending her crashing into the pavement. Miles suffered multiple fractures and a concussion. She now struggles with everyday tasks. This thug was previously charged with assaulting 4 women in 2022, but he faced minimal consequences and was allowed back on the streets. This is what happens in Democrat crime-infested cities. Now we're going to take a look, y'all. Now take a look at your screen and you're going to see this brutal attack. Again, if this were HD, we probably couldn't show it. Here he runs up on her. You can see he punches her right there. Oh my gosh. First of all, that's terrible. Horrific. There's no indication these two had known each other or had any communication in the past. He just jogs up behind her. I thought initially that the punch might have broken bones in her face. And I was like, man, how hard did he hit her? He hit her quite hard, but it probably was when she collided with the ground right there. When she hit the ground is probably where the bones in her face were broken. Absolutely terrible, y'all. I would read some of the comments, but you can kind of imagine what they probably already say. I'll scroll through some of them as I talk here. So this was the first loop puncher and he was caught. And then again, as I said, women kept getting punched in the face. And it turns out there was another loop puncher who was this huge 6'7" guy, probably 300 plus pounds. Again, if you want to see that, click on the link at the end of this video. You'll see the second loop puncher and you also see the full report on this lady now that you've seen what has happened to her. So, you know, people are saying Chicago has a problem. We all know major cities have problems. I would say now a lot of people don't want to admit, or they don't want to say, you know, when you say, man, this guy must have psychological issues. People want this person to be like some clear thinking person who's just a criminal. I don't think that there's any person in their right mind who would do this. Now, does that mean he shouldn't go to jail? Absolutely not. These are people who cannot be on the street. He had a previous history. He's released and he does this to this woman. And chances are, if he's released again, he will do this again because he has a history of this. So did the other loop puncher, for that matter. So when you admit or acknowledge that these people have psychological issues, I mean, when you look at the second loop puncher, when he's being recorded, he doesn't even have shoes on. He's just walking around barefoot. He's obviously has problems. Now, we haven't heard from Livingston, but normal people don't do this. Normal people do not do this. So I thought I would bring you this update, y'all. This is absolutely horrific. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Again, if you didn't see the report, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen now. I want to thank y'all for watching. Again, this is PIW Reacts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.